south could reach the 90s, higher than many of Europe's traditional hotspots. Not everyone's welcoming the mini heatwave, however. Doctors are warning of the dangers of too much sun, and employers fear many people will use it as an excuse to miss work. Will Walden reports.
Across southern England this lunchtime, thousands are enjoying Mediterranean temperatures. In Teignmouth in Devon, traditional relaxation on both the sand and in the sea. And a regular dose of sun cream, the order of the day on the hottest day of the year so far.
I think today we're going to see temperatures in the southeast reaching about 33 or 34 Celsius somewhere, and typically 30 to 31 Celsius across the whole of England and Wales. It's only up in the northwest of the country where temperatures are a little bit cooler, 20 to 25 Celsius typically.
Just 3 degrees below the highest ever recorded temperature in Britain, some thermometers will peak at 34. That's even hotter than more noted European hotspots like Rhodes, which will be 32, Venice, also 32, and Nice, a chilly 30. In Oxford, most were enjoying the weather, but with forecasters warning that the unseasonably high temperatures combined with traffic fumes will bring higher ozone levels, many here were choosing to stay out of the city.
Oh, it's pretty bad in Oxford. Like, I mean, like, if you're an asthmatic like me, you know, just got to stay away from the cities, just come out at night. I mean, something needs sorting out, parking rides, something like that, but summer around here, nightmare.
All of which will be of little concern to anyone brave enough to venture as far as Whitley Bay near Newcastle. Temperatures here struggling to break 20 degrees, sun and smog nowhere to be seen. Will Walden, ITN.
Yes, just a reminder, not everyone's having wonderful weather, but anyway, our correspondent Adrian Britton is at Teignmouth in Devon. We saw that in the report just now. Adrian, a lot of people there?
Yes, there are. In fact, if you want the sunshine, this is the place to come in delightful Devon. It's a postcard, I suppose, of a traditional British holiday. I mean, behind me, you've got children swimming in the sea, everybody really enjoying themselves on the beach here. I mean, who needs the test match when you can watch cricket on Teignmouth Beach? And further up here, you've got the nice display of deck chairs with mum, dads and grandparents all enjoying themselves. It's very good news for those people who depend on tourism, the hoteliers and the restaurateurs, because it has been a slow start for them this summer, but I've been talking to the Tourist Information Centre and they say that over the weekend it was proving very, very difficult to find any accommodation at all. Now, we're told that this weather may be changing on Wednesday. It may be getting slightly cooler. I think everybody here is hoping that at least the sun will stay out.
Now, as you say, the sun, jolly good, but there are perils, aren't there?
Yes, there are. I think the problem when you come to the coast like this, there's a nice refreshing sea breeze, and that can disguise the real intensity of the sun rays. So the advice is to slap on the sun cream. I know it's basic common sense advice, but I'm afraid it's the sort of advice which we Brits tend to leave behind when we come to the beach. The other problem is, of course, and further down the bay, there have been razorfish which have cut people's feet, so people are being told to wear protective shoes. And finally, from the Institute of Directors, they say, although it's sunny, no skiving off work, because you are actually breaking your working contract. So sunny, but no skiving.
Adrian Britton, not skiving, but in the sunshine. Thank you very much.
Food that's been genetically modified is at the centre of a new controversy because of fears that it could be damaging our health. Scientists in Aberdeen fed genetically modified potatoes to rats and found that it stunted their growth and harmed their immune system. It's led for calls for it to be banned from the UK. Here's our science editor, Lawrence McGinty.
The first genetically engineered product, tomato puree, was put on the supermarket shelves only 2 years ago. Until now, there has been no serious scientific evidence that any genetically modified food might cause health problems. But tonight's World in Action reveals that research at the Rowett Institute in Aberdeen on genetically engineered potatoes fed to rats suggests they could damage health.
One of the genetically modified potatoes, after 110 days, made the rats less responsive to immune effects. The effect was a slight growth retardation and an effect on the immune system.
Professor Pusti says he wouldn't eat genetically modified foods unless they had been subject to similar long-term tests. Campaigners believe genetically engineered products should be withdrawn until they've undergone tougher testing routines.
It's quite clear that we still don't know a lot about genetically engineered foods. This research today shows the effects on rats. We're already eating a lot of the foods. We don't know it and it's not labelled, so we're very concerned what the impacts of these foods are on human population.
Companies making genetically engineered crops say they've conducted thousands of field trials in 60 countries, which show that genes introduced into crops don't cross over into weeds. And they say all foods have to be thoroughly tested before they're licensed. The research revealed today has not yet been seen by the Ministry of Agriculture, but they say no genetically modified potatoes have yet been approved. What's more, they say they have every confidence in the system for testing genetically engineered foods before they reach the supermarket. Lawrence McGinty, ITN, at the Ministry of Agriculture.
Those responsible for the safety of Princes William and Harry on a recent abseiling trip came under fire.
Basically, there's another casualty which could have been out flying there.
Mink released from a nearby fur farm are being blamed for scores of attacks on pets and wild animals in the area. Here, a kestrel, a tawny owl and a barn owl were killed just as they were ready to be released back into the wild. Staff are heartbroken.
What have they gained? Nothing at all, and we're the ones that have lost, because we're trying to do a good thing for conservation, and now we've got 6,000 predators, ferocious killers on the loose.
It was members of the Animal Liberation Front who broke into the Hampshire farm at the weekend. They released up to 6,000 mink, saying they wanted to give the animals a taste of freedom. Conservationists say they've endangered wildlife in one of the country's most sensitive areas. Some of the mink have been caught, thousands are still on the loose. The police are investigating the break-in at the farm. Local people are helping efforts to round up the mink, doing what they can to protect an area designated an environmental haven. Philippa Young, ITN.
The main headlines again. England